Pirates Baseball on SNP is presented by Highmark, the official health plan of the Pirates, because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. By Cohen Markets, now serving sweet maple waffle sandwich varieties all day. Come try one. By your Western PA Chevy dealers, Chevrolet, the best-selling brand in Pittsburgh. And by Levin Furniture and Mattress, Pittsburgh's #1 furniture and mattress store. Huddling up before the game, the Pirates taking on the Rockies. 3-frame delay. And boy, they did a good job. It was right before the game was about to start. And Matt Brown and the grounds crew said, oh, it's going to rain. It's going to rain hard, but it's going to be fast. Let's get that tarp on the field. And then some time to prepare the field and for the pitchers to warm up. Now ready for baseball. And ready for some more good pitching after last night's performance by Skeens. Boy, Keller's been really good this season, too.
He sure has been. Just pounding the zone, using all his pitches. Great location. Triolo getting a start. Jared over there at first base tonight.
And for Colorado this evening, it's Julian and then Mickey Moniak, one of the top hitters of the National League this year. Freeman moves up to the 3 spot. Rumfield and then Troy Johnston, 5th in baseball and batting average. Kyle Karros in there tonight with Jake McCarthy, Tovar, and Brett Sullivan, a one-time Pirate, for Warren Schaefer's Rockies.
Very good numbers for Mitch Keller. There's your Car Shield numbers. 8 starts, 4-1, a 2.87 ERA. He doesn't need to strike out much anymore. He doesn't get as many strikeouts as he did, especially a couple of years ago. But he has limited the opponents to just a 2.06 batting average to date.
And one of the best at keeping the ball in the ballpark. Just those 2 home runs allowed. And the Levin Furniture and Mattress defense behind Keller here tonight. It's Reynolds, Cruz, and O'Hearn left to right in the outfield. Gonzalez at third. Griffin and Lau getting the start against the lefty. Triolo at first. And Henry Davis will link up with Keller. The pride of Vandergrift, Warren Schaefer, manager of the Rockies. Now, how about this? Western PA featuring both managers here in this game.
Yep, that's super cool.
Westmoreland County and Allegheny County, although I guess he was born in Butler. I don't know if he counts that, but
he calls himself a Pittsburgher, so you got to put him in the Allegheny.
He's in Allegheny County
group.
Where did he trick or treat? Mount Lebo, so that, yeah, Allegheny County. There's a strike. And that's what Keller's been doing. I like how you put that, really filling up the strike zone. Get those Rockies hitters on the defensive right away. 1 out.
You know, that may have been helpful that we had a 25 or so minute delay, because if that ball was hit 25 minutes ago, that could have been problematic. Reynolds was kind of half in the shade, half in the sun. 25 minutes ago, if it was sunny, that would have been right in the sun. Would have been a problem.
And last night, what a magnificent performance again by Paul Skeens. Look at that. The last 2 times he's pitched, he's given up no runs. He's walked no one. He's allowed only 2 hits and pitched 8 innings. I mean, almost virtually identical pitching lines the last 2 starts.
That 4-seam fastball from Mitch Keller. I don't even know in today's game, I guess maybe an average fastball, maybe a touch below average fastball at 93.5 is what he's averaging. Opponents hitting just 158 against that pitch.
And with the slider, his first strikeout against a tough hitter in Moniak.
A couple of different breaking balls. He got the harder slider. Such a good pitch. Harder to pick up the spin on that than, say, the sweeper. The sweeper breaks bigger, easier to recognize. It's also been a great pitch for him.
And there's strike 1. Tyler Freeman up to the 3 spot in the order. Well, just low. Time for our Penn West University stat of the day, where the Pirates starting pitchers rank in Major League Baseball. Quality starts, and Keller's leading that charge right there, but earned run average among the leaders, and they give up the fewest home runs per 9 innings as a staff and as a starting staff too.
Boy, look at that. Opponent OPS is 616.
Paltry. There's the starters all gathered up as they do for each game. Talk things over. Now you think about it, with Keller coming into tonight, his ERA is under 3. You saw Ashcraft in there, same, and Skeens has somehow got his under 2. So 3 Pirate starters with an ERA under 3 at this stage of the season, and you feel real good if you have a trio like that into the postseason.
Oh, without a doubt.
And then the other 2 guys are only going to get better, you feel. Good play by Triolo, and a tidy 1-2-3 inning for Mitch Keller. See if the Pirates can get him a first inning lead. Lefties very well this year, so he'll start against Quintana. Connor Griffin moves up to the 2 spot tonight with Reynolds, and then Ozuna with great career numbers against the lefty. O'Hearn hits 5th. Gonzalez, Brandon Lau gets a start against the lefty. Triolo, and then Henry Davis for the Pirates. Jose Quintana.
The veteran making his 7th start. The ERA under 4 is really good when you're pitching for Colorado. Not a lot of strikeouts. In fact, just about as many walks as strikeouts.
And that's about what he'll bring velocity wise. You talk about Skeens doing it at 97 and 98 last night, right on the edges, but Quintana, if he's anything like he was when he was a Pirate, boy, he could really be right around that rectangle.
Yep, works pretty quick. Interesting, the fastball that O'Neill took for strike 2. He hasn't faced a lot of lefties, but he has yet to give up a hit with that fastball to a left-handed hitter. He's only faced 24 lefties, though.
Well, he's going to face 3 tonight. And Lau's been hitting lefties better and has some decent career numbers against them too. O'Hearn has handled lefties fine. Cruz has excelled against most lefties, but he's 0 for 6 in his career against Quintana, who's really a change of pace pitcher these days. So much high heat. I'm going to draw a walk after down 2 strikes.
Another patient at bat against O'Neill Cruz against the lefty. And I think last year, year before, O'Neill facing lefties, you'd get some chase. Is that ball clearly low? And there's a little bit of a tap on the helmet.
Yeah, that's too late. And that's what is being explained by Ramon De Jesus to Warren Schaefer. Yeah, really, if there's any hesitation, it's too late. Got to do it immediately. And that probably saved the Rockies a challenge anyway, or a challenge for if that would have been ruled a ball. So Griffin, who hasn't batted higher than 6th in a game, in the 2 spot tonight. Donnie Kelly likes the matchup, citing his work against Eduardo Rodriguez, a similar soft tossing lefty of Arizona. Says it's not a permanent thing, but certainly can work his way to the top of the order more often with his performance. There's Donnie. And since he's turned 20 years old, he's just hit .317 in 17 games.
Yeah, you can just tell more and more comfortable in the batter's box.
Got a right side wide open. Cruz taking off with the pitch.
Oh.
The play would be to first, and he almost underthrew it.
Change up down and away. He's out in front. Crack the bat. Quintana. Those are tough for a first baseman when they don't throw it hard over there and it's in the dart. A little nerve-wracking for the first baseman.
Reynolds to left, falling fast, and McCarthy will be able to just complete the double play unassisted as Cruz took off with it, thinking it was going to fall in, and instead it's a double play to end the first. O'Neill Cruz doubled off there. Tony Beasley, the third base coach. Players got to pick up his coach. And from up here, I thought it might get down and left.
Yeah, that's all part of like the pre-pitch preparation. You know, if you know where your outfielders are, you know, you see the swing from Reynolds. It's off the end of the bat. You hear the bat's cracked, and you're thinking it's going to drop, and so you're just making an aggressive play. You know, thinking that you're going to be able to score on that, and he had committed too far at this point. You see Tony Beasley's like, well, if he's gone this far, I'm going to send him. But obviously, once he catches it, you know, it's an easy out. But yeah, just one of those where, you know, he thought he hit it weakly enough to where it dropped in front of him and was being aggressive.
And we have a better vantage point up here, and I thought there was a good chance it was going to drop too. So, first inning. Good play by the left fielder, and now Keller back to work after a 1-2-3 first inning. TJ Rumfield, the rookie, played at Texas Tech and Virginia Tech. We're going to be seeing that a lot more now, the way that college sports are. Played at these 3 or 4 schools. This is the cleanup hitter for the Rockies tonight. They come in 19th out of the 30 teams in runs per game. Keller's been pretty stingy with the walks, just 5 total in his last 4 starts combined.
Oh, a very late swing. Fastball just 91 miles per hour. Oh, actually a cutter. He about hits it out of Henry Davis's glove.
And 95 away. And the Rockies trying to put as many lefties as they can in that order tonight. 6 of them. Right-handed batters don't even have an extra base hit off Keller for the whole season. Playing the percentages. Warren Schaefer trying to do whatever he can to get the Rockies back to a little bit better place in the standings. They've lost 9 of 11, 10 games under.
What's amazing about the Rockies, it goes back since they started. You know, even when they had Galarraga and Bichette and Ellis Burks and
Vinny Castilla.
They couldn't hit on the road back then either. I mean, I think it's fascinating to me, the differences between home and road. Almost all their hitters. Larry Walker.
Yeah, there was a campaign to not put him in the Hall of Fame because of it. And so, wait a minute. He still did all those things in Colorado and Montreal and St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
That's 11 pitch at bat, but a strikeout. And the Rockies this year, maybe a little less of a split than in some years. But even, for instance, Troy Johnston, new to the team, one of the top batting average guys, hitting .273 on the road. Nice ranging play by Griffin.
Yeah, just making it look easy. I mean, he catches that at the second base position. You know, just so quick. He moves so well, gets such good jumps.
He won the Gold Glove in the minor leagues last year at shortstop. There's only one player that wins it every year in the minors. Remember, he started the year as a center fielder.
Yeah.
He had never played shortstop regularly in his life. He just picked up on it, worked hard at it. It's easy. When you're Connor Griffin, it's easy. He's just such a smart player. He just learns so quickly. And Mitch Keller. Ah, the old dog, huh? At age 30, getting it done. As we go to the bottom of the second inning. And tomorrow afternoon, it's a 12:35 tilt and Dollar Dogs. Yes, come on out to PNC Park. Dollar hot dogs throughout the ballpark. Thanks to Sugardale. Go to pirates.com/dollardogs. It's tomorrow afternoon, 12:35 game. And that will wrap up this series. We have our first challenge.
Catcher is challenging the ball call.
So the Rockies will risk a challenge against Marcell Ozuna.
The pitch is a strike. Colorado has 2 challenges remaining.
So Brett Sullivan, who was with the Pirates for 3 games last year, wins that challenge for Colorado. So now it's 1-1. Our ABS challenge system. What do you think of it so far?
I like it.
Yeah,
I do. I like it. I think there's still guys getting used to it. I think the catchers have done a really good job. Hitters, you come to a couple of things. For one, you realize how good the umpires are, and secondly, hitters struggle with the strike zone. And there's times you could tell they're convinced that the pitch was not a strike, and they challenge and it was a strike. Yeah, we've seen that a lot. Especially, I mean, I think up and down is an adjustment. I mean, because it has changed and it's a little bit different for everybody.
look at our Levin Furniture and Mattress strike zone. That was off. And Ozuna's, he got off to a good start with the ABS and then ran into a few challenges that he lost. And especially early in the game when you lose him, and he's done that, thinking, I think that's outside.
Yeah,
but
I think
you got to know
yeah,
this stage of the game.
Yeah, early on, nobody on, especially 2 outs. You got to be 100% sure.
So you feel there's some strategy to it too?
Oh, without a doubt. I think it's because you're upset, or a borderline pitch that you're not sure of, and it's a situation where there's nobody on. I don't know. I just think you've got to be 100% sure to waste that challenge.
Cranks that fastball, knuckling out to McCarthy. Still taking the sting out of the bats. Jose Quintana, 37 years old now. Won 114 Major League ball games.
And I was wondering, was he throwing much harder when he was a Pirate?
91 or 2.
Yeah, maybe a mile or 2.
Yeah,
harder.
And he was a Pirate 4 years ago.
Because I saw that he's averaging right around 90 miles per hour, and I thought, well, he hasn't lost much because I don't remember him throwing much harder.
Yeah. Oh, there would be days he'd be just like this. And he was very good with the Pirates, 3.5 ERA. And then they traded him to the Cardinals, and he was even better than that toward the tail end of that season. Pirates got Johan Oviedo and Malcolm Nunez for Chris Stratton and Jose Quintana in that deadline deal in 22. Xfinity numbers for Ryan O'Hearn, driven in 26 already. He's handled lefties just fine. And he tries to take the same approach. Lefties, righties. Tries to be the same hitter for both. Look at our AHN Supermo.
Yeah, that pitch running away from him a bit and too close to take. Able to waste it. And he's cooled off a little bit. Was so good first 30 so games of the season. You can tell maybe the timing's just a little bit off the last week or so, which is hard to believe because there's not much timing in a swing, but I think every hitter goes through it.
And he lines one into the right field corner.
His swing is just so efficient, short, direct to the ball. He's super strong, but there's just not a lot of movement. Not a lot of movement in his hands. Not a lot of movement in his lower half. That's what I mean by timing. You know, certain guys have a lot more movement, like Marcell Ozuna. I mean, he's got a toe tap and he got a lot of movement in his hands. You know, Ryan O'Hearn, you never expect him to go into a long slump just because it's so simple. It just looks so effortless for him, you know.
Less that could go wrong, I guess,
yeah.
or be out of whack.
Yeah, certain guys, you know, maybe the hands are getting back late, or foot's not getting down early enough, or you know, there's certain things that could disrupt the timing. But with Ryan O'Hearn, it's just so simple and easy looking.
Ryan O'Hearn nice enough to join Stephen Brault and Kevin Young on the BP show prior to the game. It'll re-air after postgame tonight if you missed it earlier, or if you want to watch it again. What are you seeing from Nick Gonzalez? He's only hitting .385 in his last 20 games. From his swing, anything different from him this year?
I mean, it looks the same to me, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's much. I mean, he's always been short to the ball and hits it where it's pitched oftentimes. You know, likes to use the whole field. Mechanically, I don't see anything really different.
And we showed you how good he's been in the clutch. One of the best in baseball this year.
You know, the changeup, look at it diving as it comes into the hitting zone. That Nick out in front.
That close.
Yeah, look how close that is. And again, you know, you're not 100% sure as the catcher there. You're not 100% sure. You don't want to waste the challenge this early.
And so he'll work a walk. Well, you were talking earlier about the hitters knowing the strike zone. You really got to know it with Quintana, because if he misses, it's not by much.
Right. Yeah, just right around it. That's a good at bat. Nick Gonzalez is not a guy that walks a whole bunch. It's just his 12th this year.
Had that 3-walk game Saturday in San Francisco, first time he'd ever done that in a game. And now Brandon Lau. There was a time where after a few games beginning the season that he wouldn't face a lot of lefty starters, but doing pretty well against them. 5 for his last 19 with 2 home runs against lefties. And he's homered once off Quintana in 6 career at bats. So you add that up, put him in there tonight.
Yeah, Donnie trying a little something different. With the Pirates really haven't hit that well against lefty starters. As a team, 4-6. One of southpaw starts.
And Quintana's such a craftsman. That previous breaking ball, you know, it's more of an over-the-top curve for most hitters, but he knows that Lau may be a little more susceptible to a slider, so he kind of makes it in something a little more slurvy or sweepery. I would imagine he'd be challenging to face Quintana.
Yeah, another thing, is Donnie Kelly not only adding Lau to the lineup against the lefty, Cruz hitting leadoff, Lau down there at 7. Good chance that Lau only faces Quintana twice. So figure if he gets 4 at bats, he's going to face righties half the time.
Yeah, they only have 1 lefty in the pen. So yeah, that's a great point. He's been pretty much 5 and dive, gone 6 innings once. Quintana. The Pirates kind of waiting him out here. This will be his 25th pitch of this 2nd inning. And another walk. That'll load the bases. 3 walks already by Quintana.
Perhaps trying to be too fine there. And again, that 4-seam fastball, he's not given a hit up to a lefty so far this season, but trying to paint that outside corner.
So mound visit here. Pitching coach with a little bit of experience at UC San Diego.
Yeah, and then you look at what with again Lau being in that starting lineup. Typically you would see Nick York in there against the lefty, and he really hasn't hit lefties either. So figured leave the power in there with Lau and just drop him a little bit. A good first at bat.
Now Triolo hit lefties with some power last year. And some good overall numbers. So he'll get a start tonight. See if he can improve with runners in scoring position. So the Pirates last night, they won 3-1. They got 3 hits with 2 outs. Those 2 out RBIs here with 1 out. Quintana hoping for the 8 and 9 hitters to bail him out. See if the Pirates can break through. And getting him to swing outside the zone. That's what Quintana's counting on.
Yeah, I mean the get me over breaking ball to get ahead. Perfectly placed changeup on the outside corner for 0-2, and then he just throws it a little wider, hoping for the chase. He did just what he wanted to do there.
Davis, the catcher, probably thinking along with Quintana, I'm going to get that first pitch curve. Henry, if he can get that big hit in the clutch, maybe that would relax him in these situations. He's not performed well in these roles before, very often. But he throwing in the gap right here. Maybe it all eases up from here on out. 2-out chance for the Pirates with the bases loaded. Hard hit. Oh, Karros with a terrific stop. And now we've got Bedlam running through the bag to avoid the force. And there's going to be obstruction. He scores.
Wow. What a play that was right there. Brandon Lau running through the bag at second base. I'd be surprised if they don't try to take a look at that play, the Rockies, to see if that throw to second Pete Lau. And they call him safe. And then coming from second, Gonzalez. Nick Gonzalez, he goes running and he kind of gives Quintana's trying to get out of the way. It was almost like Gonzalez reached out and kind of shoved Quintana as he was trying to get out of the way, and gets the call there. A whole lot of stuff going on here. First of all, I'm shocked that Karros didn't go to first. And I'm shocked that they're not going to review this play at second base, because that was a very bang play. But that's heads up. We've seen this a handful of times. Pirate runners from first to second on a force play, just run through it. If you have a runner on third, run through the bag. You'll sacrifice going past the bag for a run scored, because that run would score. Obviously if he's rolled safe there and goes through the bag and gets tagged after that.
And I'm so glad that Henry Davis was rewarded. He smashed that ball, and it looked like it was going to be for naught. He hit it 109 off the bat, and 2 come in, and it'll be Quintana assessed an error for obstruction.
Yeah, look, watch this play.
Not there yet. There. Ooh. Very close.
So close, but given it cost them 2 runs, you almost have to change it, you think.
Yeah.
But what a heads-up play by Lau, heads-up play by Nick Gonzalez.
And hard hit, snared by Tovar.
Wow.
And the Rockies flashing some leather, but the Pirates will grab 2 thanks to a hard hit by Henry Davis. It's on the UPMC scoreboard. Pirates baseball presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of sports coverage on SNP. Well, great heads-up baseball by the Pirates. I love it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, again, Nick Gonzalez stayed in that rundown long enough, but if he doesn't reach out and with that left arm, and he almost shoved Quintana, if he doesn't do that, I don't know if they call interference there, because Quintana was getting out of the way. So Nick Gonzalez actually initiated that contact. As you'll see, Quintana's getting out of the way, and Nick Gonzalez ran into him. Who knows? There might have been a little bit of contact there too, which would still be interference. But he made sure obstruction. Yeah, he made sure that the umpire saw some contact.
And that's what it is. I mean, he's entitled to the baseline now. If he tries to run out of the baseline, Gonzalez might be cited for running out of the baseline. So yeah, he did what kind of instinctively what you should do right there, and it ended up working out very favorably for the Pirates, who hit the ball very hard that inning. Davis and then Cruz, who got robbed.
Yeah, and as far as the fundamentals of that play, as far as that rundown is concerned, for one, you want to get that rundown over with in 1, maybe 2 throws tops. And when Gonzalez was going back towards home, Quintana being between home plate and Nick Gonzalez, I believe it was the first baseman Rumfield that was covering home plate. He's got to yell at his pitcher to get out of there. Pitcher, if you've got home plate covered, get your pitcher out of there.
Yeah, go back up something, or yeah,
get out of the way.
And Lau, by turning the bag, is second. Baseball instituted a rule last year where sometimes you'd see that and it's in abandonment, but no, Lau smartly turned the bag and started heading to third. He didn't run into left field.
No.
He would have been called out if he did that, but he turned the bag. And I mean, he cut it perfectly too, right in the front corner of the bag. I mean, that was so well done. They'll show that. All the other teams are going to watch that and talk about it and say, hey, this is something we should do. We should be like the Pirates.
Yep. And again, that play was probably the first base by Kyle Karros, the third baseman. Probably should have thrown to first. They've given Davis, I believe, a fielder's choice, and I hope that gets changed, because that should be a base hit.
And Keller has retired the first 9 in order. MLB Plus is new for 2026. Stream MLB Network 24/7 in the U.S. and select distinct out-of-market games every week, plus live radio broadcasts of every game, game day 3D, big inning, and minor league action. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today. Scott Township is here. Still know the Macarena. All right, I don't feel so old.
About that.
All right.
Just breaking it out. That wasn't playing.
You ever get a song in your head?
Oh, yeah.
Up and in with the fastball. And he'll go down and away with the changeup. Nope, that's what I thought. See? Well, he just knows what to do. And that's 87 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's like a cut fastball. It's not showing that he throws a cutter.
Probably invented it. Goes with a curveball instead, down and away. Hard to guess what he's going to do. But the notion of strike the ball, right? There's pitchers. We were talking about Liriano last night because of Skeens. And he comes to mind. But Quintana's probably in that category, don't you think?
Yep, probably.
Tempt the hitter some.
You know, I mean, I think he likes to add and subtract. You know, he'll try to speed you up that four-seamer or come inside and then get you out in front of that changeup as it fades away.
So more disrupting timing.
Yes. Tried to get the chase on that changeup down and away, and Connor saw it well.
In the number 2 spot of the order tonight.
It's going to fall.
Fought that one off. Look at that hustle. Oh, that's Connor Griffin at his finest right there. A hustle double.
Easy double. And he gets tied up a bit. Just muscles it out there. Away from the right fielder towards that right field line. And he knows as he's rounding first, it's right in front of him. He knows he's got a shot at second. Not only did he have a shot, he had it easy with that good speed. Yeah, he saw a little hesitation after he went first. I think it's because he saw as the ball was bouncing, you know, if the ball comes up right to him, you know, and hops up to him.
Reynolds hits it through the right side. He'll pick up an RBI. Bucks up 3-0. Great hitting. What a blue-collar effort by those Buccos tonight.
Say it all the time, when you get a runner on second and nobody out, why not try to move the ball to the right side of the infield? It doesn't mean you're giving yourself up. It doesn't mean you're making it out. Oftentimes you're going to get a hit. I think as often as if you try to pull it, you're going to get a hit if you go the other way. And you see Brian Reynolds, and you know, a lot of these guys that have been around a long time, experienced veterans, we've seen that a bunch this year. Brandon Lau, you'd see the effort in him trying to move the ball to the right side to get a runner over from second to third. Brian Reynolds following suit here tonight, rewarded with an RBI.
They're doing so as a right-handed batter. Picked up RBI number 25. Really heady plays in the second inning. And a hard hit ball by Davis yielded a couple of runs, and then just good fundamental baseball again here this inning.
You know, it's hard not to follow suit if you're a young player when you're seeing the veteran guys doing it. You know, I mean, that should be the standard. You know,
that's winning baseball to me.
It is 100%.
You know, how many times you look at it, Milwaukee, for instance, and go, how do they win in the division every year? Well, that's part of it. Or when the Cardinals had their reign, and you know, you see them doing that very often.
Ball hooked down the line, started fair. Got a foot foul inside that third base bag.
Now, how easy is it, or difficult, especially for a right-handed batter, to hit a ball through that vacated right side when they get that hole? Because so often you see that second baseman playing up the middle.
Well, it isn't slow pitch softball where you can just hit it wherever you want. I mean, and there's, you know, whether he was trying to hit it through the hole or just trying to hit it through the right side. You know, obviously there's a bigger hole over there when the second baseman's playing up the middle. But, you know, there's certain guys that aren't capable of getting on top of the ball to the right side. They're not. They just, their swing won't allow them to hit a ground ball to the opposite field, just because their swing, you know, has length to it, or, you know.
It's heading away from the center fielder. Base hit for Ozuna. 3 straight hits for the Pirates to start the third.
Boy, this team would be so much more potent if Ozuna heats up. He will heat up at some point. Nice to see a couple of hard hit balls here tonight. He lined out the left back in the second. Another line drive in the left center.
So far he's been like me building a campfire. You kind of get it going. It's going to be great, and then okay, it dies out a little bit, and then it comes back again, and then dies out again. I think he's going to get roaring at some point. You got to figure.
Yeah, you think as a guy batting cleanup tonight, he's been in that cleanup spot a lot this year. Lately he's been dropped to 6th, but he's 8th on this team in RBIs. You know, he's the guy that you were expecting to be, you know, one of your top 2 or 3 at the very least. You know, based on his past and, you know, the power that he possesses, a 100 RBI guy. You know, there's 7 Pirates ahead of him in RBIs, which I don't think anybody would have predicted that at this stage.
Hard hit, but they're going to be able to get 2 out of that.
Yeah, a little bad luck there for Ryan O'Hearn. Another solid at bat against a left-handed pitcher. Hits it right on the button. One hopper hit hard enough to where first baseman able to give his shortstop Tovar a nice feed. He had to pause a bit to make sure Quintana got over there in time, and I guess Quintana got the side of the bag with the side of his cleat.
Out to deep right. Pirates get 1. Connor Griffin comes around to score.
Welcome back. Brandon Lau can teach some good base running to Lau's legends. That's an initiative that happened at PNC Park this series, something that originated in Tampa, where he and his wife Madison invite youth baseball and softball teams to have a VIP experience. The two hosted their first Pittsburgh event, meeting a Woodland Hills Little League team during batting practice. The team got to chat in the dugout with Brandon and his wife Madison, meet some of the teammates, hang out with the guys, watch them warm up before the game. Brandon and Madison made sure they all had tickets to the game, as well as meal vouchers and t-shirts. Brandon said it's always so cool to see the kids walk on the field, see their faces light up, and Madison was beyond happy Pirates Charities made the transition with this endeavor. Such an easy process for them to make an immediate impact here, Joe.
And that's terrific to hear what Pirates Charities has been doing and continues to do. And what Brandon Lau, I mean, think about it. He just got here. He spent his entire career in the Rays organization. He's a pending free agent. It's not like he's necessarily signed here for the rest of the decade, but he is acting like it.
Yep, no doubt. Wanting to give back.
Catcher is challenging the ball call.
Davis challenging.
Well, he was pretty certain in.
Once again,
great challenge from Henry Davis.
And catchers overall are correct about 60% of the time. I feel like he's much better than that. And against a tough hitter in Moniak, getting him down a strike right away. So that's 10 in a row retired by Keller.
Whoa. Good adjustment, Ryan O'Hearn. That ball was hit very hard. 108 miles per hour off the bat. O'Hearn was off and running. Didn't think it was going to carry out that much, but made a little adjustment at the end to bring it in.
So with some help from his right fielder, that's 11 in a row retired by Keller, which is the longest streak to start a game since last night for a Pirates pitcher. Good healthy competition between those guys. And Keller has been so good. Just another 8-pitch inning for Mitch Keller. No one has reached for the Rockies. Welcome to the Toyota Rev 4th inning. Those are some sharp outfits.
Indeed, they match the RAV logo.
Oh, nice, yeah.
I like it. The Coneheads.
After we had that brief rain shower, which delayed the action by about a half hour tonight. Cooled off just a bit. Going to warm up this weekend, though. Tomorrow, an afternoon game. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the Phillies are in town. It'll be summer-like weather. Now trying to open up on that breaking ball. Brandon Lau is the first out. I told you about this weekend. How about on Sunday when the Phillies are here? It's a 1:35 game, and all kids 14 and younger will take home a Brandon Lau kids jersey, and it's all available to you at Pirates.com. That is sharp. The blue and purple splotches. A bunt. Oh, that's a beauty.
That's a beauty. They're going to give it to you. Might as well take it. I mean, he squared early. He knew he had time. Caro's playing way back at third base. And Jared Triolo can handle the bat. So, hey, I don't even have to be perfect. I just got to get it down.
If you're a fan of fundamental baseball, this is your game tonight. Pirates have been flawless. They've been really good. Especially in the second, third, and now here in the fourth innings.
Oh, good. I see. Or did I? I'm looking to see if they still got fielder's choice up there for Henry Davis.
And 1 RBI because of the error assessed to Quintana for the obstruction call. But you think it should be a hit, and I think it should be a hit because they couldn't get an out as far as you could tell.
Would that normally be you get credited with an RBI on a fielder's choice with 2 outs?
No.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like Triolo thinking of swiping a bag.
Brett Sullivan, one-time Pirate, 17% caught stealing for his career. I don't remember teams really running on Quintana a whole lot. He's had 31 pickoffs in his career, more so earlier in his career, but few lately.
I know this, if you're trying to read them, get a good jump. You like it when they throw over. You get an idea what that move looks like.
That's the second disengagement. If he throws over again, he has to pick him off. Otherwise, it's a balk.
Why not? Go first movement.
And the ball gets away.
Oh, I thought he had it.
It will be the first steal of the year for Triolo.
Yeah, why wouldn't you go first move? You could tell Quintana, he's not one of those lefties that can read. It's not like he's looking over there and he can adjust and throw over. And so he's gone over twice. When do you ever see anybody go over there a third time? So Triolo just says, I'm going to go as soon as he picks up that right leg.
Now you see guys don't go way more often than actually go right after that second disengagement. It'll be out to Tovar, the shortstop. So Triolo with that stolen base. And the Bucks stole the base. You steal a deal. Scan on screen for $25 off at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. So man in scoring position. In the midst of all that chaos where the Pirates scored a couple of runs, Cruz came up and then blistered the ball to the shortstop. And Tovar made a sensational play that saved another run or two. Cruz was up last time.
Yeah, we kind of just brushed that aside. Another good at bat for O'Neill against the lefty. And, you know, he's been hunting the RBI. If that would have got through, a great diving play by Tovar would have gave Cruz his 30th and 31st RBI on the season if that got through. Or was it the second baseman? Who caught that? Was it Tovar?
I had Tovar down
yeah,
on my.
I put a 4 instead of a 6. I thought it was the shortstop.
Want to just say 5?
There was a time where we were doing that. Remember the third baseman was going over there?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, before they banned the shift, so to speak. So Sullivan again will come out. Almost never see the mound visit remaining number dwindle, but it's down to 2 for the Rockies.
And you don't see many 0-2 count visits.
That's how dangerous O'Neill Cruz is. He was down 0-2 in the count to start the first inning. He ended up drawing a walk. A 3-run game in the 4th. Rockies feel like they're in it. Cruz leaves the yard. Makes it really difficult for the Rockies the rest of the way tonight. Comes back with a curveball to strike him out. Quintana's second strikeout tonight. Pirates have built a 3-0 lead as we go to the 5th inning. And it's time for our Penn West University Educating You. Fewest pitches per inning in the National League. And as coincidence would have it, 3 Pirate starters with ERAs under 3 are among the fewest. And there's a first base runner tonight for Colorado. Mitch Keller 5th. But the Pirates have 3 of the top 5. Fewest pitches per inning.
I love that. Attacking in the strike zone. Quick, easy outs. Certainly have seen that so far this homestand. With, of course, Paul last night and Mitch tonight.
And so he retired the first 12 in order, which was the longest stretch to start a game for Keller. And here are his pitches per inning, and he's below his average overall. Look at that, just 44 pitches here. 42 through 4, so what's that, 10 and a half? Did I have that right? 42 pitches.
That's very good.
For 4? Okay, yeah. So he's below his average, yeah. I just want to make sure. Sometimes we have fact checkers listening and watching, texting me if I'm slightly off in my numbers.
Yeah,
just want to make sure.
First hit allowed here in this 5th inning by Rumfield. I think that was a first pitch changeup, and I think that may have been his first one of the day. Just interesting.
Troy Johnston is one of the Rockies that could actually do something at the bat last night. Came in with that .328 batting average. There's a waiver claim from the Marlins.
See all the blue marks on that bat. That's lasted him a while.
Are those from the baseballs? The blue ink from the baseball?
Yes, it's.
He goes the other way for a base hit.
Yeah, every now and again, you hit the ball where, where the logo from the ball is, and yeah, leaves a mark. There's all the blue marks. Maybe got another one. Good looking swing going the other way.
Keller working with men on now. You were talking about it earlier, how Keller has not necessarily been having high strikeout totals most nights, but remember a few years ago he was really good at getting that ground ball double play. Here a hit for Karros. Rumfield will score. 3 straight singles for the Rockies to open the 5th, and they're on the board.
Yeah, 3 pretty hard hit balls. That slider left up, middle in. Pitch you typically like to throw down and away. I've always wondered, like, if you go a stretch without pitching in the stretch, like Mitch has the first 4 innings, when you give up that first base runner, what kind of adjustment there is, if any, because you're just not used to pitching out the stretch.
Yeah.
And Bob told me, meh.
Meh was his response. And Davis pounces on it just in case it was fair. Still behind the line. Ramon de Jesus, the imaginary line from the point of the plate up the line of the batter's box. There is no line there, so you have to kind of project where that ball is. Little flare, and the Rockies.
Wow.
Made that into a double. I didn't see that coming from Jake McCarthy.
Boy, he was motoring.
And look at that. It's a 1-run game with 2nd and 3rd and nobody out.
Yeah, a little bit tied up, fisted it out there to right, and showing off the wheels. I wasn't anticipating a 2nd and 3rd situation. I figured 1st and 3rd. Boy, that pitch was well off the plate in too. Good speed, good turn. Gets there easily.
I can't say that Keller's been making mistakes. Rumfield and Karros, those balls were right in the middle of the plate. Johnston got on top of a high fastball, and like you said, McCarthy hit a pitch that was well in off the plate. So a mixture of both here. The Rockies doing some hitting. 7th double for McCarthy. Rockies equaling their hit total from last night, all in succession. They got another one. And they'll hold McCarthy. That's why the pitcher backs it up. Tovar with a base hit. 5 straight hits off Keller after 12 straight batters were retired to start the game.
And again, you could tell by the first swing, Tovar was trying to hit the ball the other way, fouled off the first pitch. This time, again, just playing the game. Get the ball to the right side, get the runner over, get the runner in, and he's rewarded with a base hit and RBI. And another ball in play, good chance the Rockies have the lead.
And what a great example of how baseball can turn and turn quickly. And the Rockies really giving the Pirates a dose of their own medicine the way that they're hitting here in this inning. It's not the long ball.
No, just you know, this is part of the order. These 5 hitters making adjustments and snowballed in a hurry.
So a tie game with nobody out. Bunt. Will come home.
Boy, is he good.
And Davis sticks his nose right in there and gets the out.
Yeah. Jared Triolo is just so good at anticipating everything. And not only that, charging hard, going to the backhand to where he can get rid of it quicker. You know, he's coming to get that. He gets himself in a position just to pick it up and fire it in. And Henry Davis has the ball and plenty of time. They're going to probably ask about blocking home plate, not giving him a running lane, but look how early Davis gets the ball. He's got the ball before the runner McCarthy gets to the right-handed batter's box.
The catcher's entitled to block the plate once he has the ball.
Colorado is challenging the out call at the plate as well as the home plate collision rule.
Quinn Wolcott is the crew chief. So now the one thing in my viewpoint is that before he had the ball, his feet were over the base, but they almost never call blocking the plate for the catcher.
No, they don't. And, you know, that's where the throw took him. The throw, I mean, where else are you going to go?
Yeah, you're allowed to go with the throw.
Yeah, the throw takes him right in front of home plate. So, you know, what are you supposed to do? I mean, he had no choice but to go where the ball took him.
Well, yeah, Triolo really. I mean, Triolo's effort there gets the ball to Davis in plenty of time for him to get ready for a potential collision.
You know what else is interesting about that play? Is Triolo fields it. He looks at the runner at second base. The runner stayed at second base.
He did that all in one motion.
Yeah, as he comes up with the ball, he's looking over at the runner at second base, and the runner at second base stays there. Why he would do that, I have no idea.
After review, there is no violation of the home plate collision rule. The call on the field is confirmed. The runner is out. Colorado loses their challenge.
Remember, the Rockies did not challenge earlier when Lau was very closely
by the way,
safe at second.
I was wrong. I did see Triolo look up. He must have looked at the runner at third. There wasn't a runner at second base. I was thinking the second and third situation. It was first and third. But he did peek over that way, and I was wondering what he was looking at. And obviously Tovar hit a base hit, so it was first and third.
So now the Rockies, beginning in the 8th inning, can ask for a crew chief review, but no other recourse for any calls that they deem incorrect. So they get the first out at the plate, ending the string of 5 consecutive hits by the Rockies to start this inning after Keller had sent down 12 in a row. And Evan Sisk is getting up. I've loved how Davis has just gotten right in there. I mean, he'll make tags with his whole body.
Yeah, he has no fear. He wants to just smother that plate.
Another little pop with Griffin. Has the out. Rockies get activity. Senzatella. Last time the Pirates saw him, he had one of the worst outings you'll ever have as a starting pitcher. And they put him in the bullpen this year. He's been awesome.
Yeah.
So good for Senzatella to figure it out. We'll see if Keller can get out of this.
I'll tell you what, I mean, that's the value of Jared Triolo, first of all. I mean, I'm not saying another first baseman can't make that play, but he just makes it look so simple, so easy.
Like you said, the anticipation and then the execution.
Yeah. But obviously, he was holding the runner on there at first and third. And, he reads it right away, sees him square, comes in charging.
Nice leading throw. Just in the right spot.
Yeah, I wonder why he looked up. He looked up like kind of over towards third. Obviously, he confused me by doing that. Because it didn't look like he was looking at the runner breaking from third. It looked like he looked over towards where, like Nick Gonzalez or where the runner would be going to third. But for whatever reason, I mean, it doesn't matter. He made a great play.
We'll have to ask him tomorrow, yeah. Well, the Pirates really value Triolo, and they put a great emphasis on his defense. And, sometimes we just look at a batting average or OPS or whatever you want to do, but there's so much more value to a player than just hitting.
Yikes.
But Mickey Moniak has made a good living hitting this year, and he was a strike away from getting out of it with just 3. And the Rockies get 3 more off the bat of Mickey Moniak. A 6-run 5th after no one had reached base prior. What a stunning turn of events. Just reaching out for a low sweeper.
He just smothered it. He just stayed back. And certain guys just have that ability. I mean, it's one thing if it's down and in. You see that a lot with lefties hitting a down and in breaking ball out, but it was like, when it's out over the plate, outer third like that, recognizing, staying back, and able to hook it.
A birthday home run for Mickey Moniak, his 28th birthday today. And the Rockies with 6 in the 5th. Only the 3rd home run hit off Keller all year. And Moniak came into today leading the National League in slugging, 2nd in OPS. Mickey Moniak. He's hit 36 home runs as a Rocky in about a season's worth of at-bats. He gets the blur code or whatever that is. So the Pirates got to get to scoring now, down 3. Games at home or on the go with S&P 360. Just go to getsnp360.com or scan the QR code. Log in with your provider and get direct access to live games, plus all the Pittsburgh sports content you love. Mickey Moniak with a 2-out, 2-strike, 3-run home run. And now Senzatella comes on.
24 1/3 innings. ERA 1.11. Hard throwing righty has held opponents to just a 159 batting average.
So the Pirates knock out Quintana after 4 innings. And you feel like, all right, well, now you're rolling. And the Rockies 5 straight hits to start that inning, and then Keller was a strike away from keeping it a 3-3 game. But Moniak has been one of the best hitters in baseball this season. This will be challenged by Sullivan, the catcher.
And once again, a little bit of a hesitation. Wow, that's on the plate.
Call is overturned. Colorado has to challenge this man.
Griffin with that hustle double back in the 3rd. Let's see if the Pirates can score against one of the poorest pitching staffs in baseball. But Senzatella has been one of the bright spots. He's not allowed a run on the road this year.
And he's not just a one-inning guy. I'm guessing we're going to see him at least a couple of innings coming in this early. And fastball right on the outside corner just underneath.
And as we often see with starters turned relievers, if throwing harder. That's the cut fastball. Got some good late life to it. Last time the Pirates faced him, one of the worst starts you'll ever see, really. Couldn't get out of the first inning, gave up 8 runs. And famously, the Rockies won that game.
Yeah, that's right.
They won 17-16 over the Pirates on August 1st last year. The first starter in baseball history to give up 8 earned runs or more, not get out of the first inning, and his team won. So I guess he was happy that day?
I'm content, maybe. I mean, I guess that's the same thing, but yeah, yeah, it'd be hard to be too chipper after giving up 8.
Another busted bat for Reynolds. 1 for 3 with an RBI. Senzatella last year primarily as a starter, 4-15 with an ERA close to 7. Put him in the bullpen, and he's been fantastic. Free agent year 2 for Senzatella. Keller staying loose, you know, despite the Rockies batting around last inning, 25 pitch inning. He's at 67 through 5. So if they deem that they feel like he still can be effective, he could still go out there pitch count wise. Every Pirate has reached base already through the first 4 innings against Quintana. But no one's going to reach against Senzatella here in the 5th inning. A 1-2-3 frame for the Rockies reliever. Now the Rockies in the lead 6-3 after batting around in that 5th inning. They scored 6 times off Keller. Let's take a look at StatCast powered by Google Cloud on the 6 hits by the Rockies that inning.
Change up, 4-seamer, slider, cutter.
So that last one was way in off the plate. Now some of the locations, yeah, probably don't want to leave it middle, but some of them the Rockies went out and got them.
Yeah, I mean, it happened fast. I mean, he was just cruising, and you're thinking, well, we're getting another stellar quality start from Mitch Keller.
Now the Rockies banking on putting a bunch of lefty hitters in the lineup tonight. Not that he's been bad against lefties, he is not, but righties have done nothing against him. So the lefties doing the big damage of the inning, the hustle double by McCarthy, and then that home run by Moniak. One field out to deep right. Just kind of deadens against the wall, and so it's a double. So right after that 6-run inning, Keller permitted to continue, leadoff double.
Yep, you know, he was late on the fastball. You know, he started that rally in the 5th on a changeup, and Mitch throws him a breaking ball right in that power spot, that location where lefties love it, breaking into the barrel of the bat.
Trying to keep this game a 3-run affair right now. 6th inning, feel like still you got a good chance. Run an inning the rest of the way, you still can win it. But if the Rockies have another big frame. Colorado has lost 9 of its last 11. Coming in last place in the NL West.
And there's still a lot of ball game left, and so you know, coming back from down 3, you know, it's doable. Especially, you know, this is not the greatest bullpen in baseball.
Yeah, the Rockies coming into the series, they're second to last in bullpen ERA and dead last in starters ERA. Some of them find it funny, but that's just how it's been so far. Of course, pitching at Coors doesn't help. Keller finds it, and he's going to get double play.
Well, that'll help.
Well, baseball can turn quickly, and it does right there.
And Mitch Keller is such a good athlete in a pretty good fielding position, able to reach back. Easy flip to Connor Griffin. Well, you'll see a lot of pitchers just duck out of the way. They see it coming back at them. They're ducking.
And because, yeah, he was in, as you put it, good fielding position. Helps the cause a lot right there. Two outs, nobody on. Chance to rebound and continue his night. Well, that shows you the faith that Donnie Kelly has in his veteran pitcher. You know, the thought is, okay, you give up 6 runs. All right, well, go get him. Well, not necessarily. Who's going to get me 3 outs in this 6th inning? Would I rather have Keller or would I rather have somebody else? And, you know, Keller had retired the first 12 in order already tonight. Now he's got Sisk ready. Had him up last inning. He's kind of staying ready if needed. A first walk tonight from Keller. And that can be a sign of a pitcher fatiguing. Keller doesn't issue a lot of walks. And yeah, with the lefty coming up, it is going to be Sisk. Pitching change here. Sisk for McCarthy coming up next. (6-3) Colorado with the lead here in the 6th inning after the 2-out walk. This Pirates pitching change presented by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Look at that ERA for Evan Sisk. Just a 1.8. Making his 13th appearance. More than the strikeout per inning, 18 through 15 innings.
Brenton Doyle will pinch hit for McCarthy. So rather than Keller versus McCarthy, they like Doyle versus Sisk here. Or any of the righties off the bench. That's typically what the Rockies do. They have Goodman and Beck, and then the switch hitting Castro. They'll use most of those guys tonight at some point. Not the same year as we've seen from Doyle. It was an all-star. Pardon me, a Gold Glover, I should say, the previous year. And had a good number, 23 home runs and 30 stolen bases back in 24. Sisk gets him to ground out, and a scoreless 6th Pirates still within 3. On SNP is presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of sports coverage on SNP. And by Barrel Automotive, driven to be better. Riverboat Queen on this pretty night. O'Hearn gets into one. And gets it out of here. A leadoff home run. Ryan O'Hearn gets the Pirates one closer here in the 6th.
Well, that's what this lineup has the ability to do. Put a quick one back up there. O'Hearn, again, we talked about maybe his timing was off just a bit for the last week or so, but it doesn't take him long to get it back. 96, that's off the plate in. The mechanics, look at him pull his hands in, get the barrel out. For a guy with that kind of power, such a short swing.
First home run hit off Senzatella all year in more than 25 innings. He hadn't allowed a run on the road at all year. And that home run brought to you by UPMC. Ryan O'Hearn.
Usually when a hitter gets the barrel on that pitch off the plate in, it's just a foul ball home run or foul ball period. You know, it's not home run to right center.
O'Hearn hitting his 6th. And as you surmised, putting Lau in the lineup against Quintana, he'd probably only face him twice. That's exactly what happened. Now he's got a righty. Got underneath that one.
Yeah, didn't quite get the barrel out.
The Pirates getting within 2 now here in the 6th. And so with the righty in there, it's going to be Horwitz. Boy, he's been on a heater at the plate. That was a pretty good pass.
Indeed. Pinch hitter go in there, try to keep it simple, look for a fastball out over, put a good swing on it. He did that, just a little underneath.
Sullivan grabs the final out, but the Pirates get one closer thanks to Ryan O'Hearn. A leadoff home run. What a strike. And O'Hearn and the Pirates within a pair. 6-4 through 6. Rockies on the UPMC scoreboard. Pirates baseball presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of sports coverage on SNP. So Spencer Horwitz will take over at first after pinch hitting for Triolo. Ryan O'Hearn getting the Pirates closer with that home run. Evan Sisk came on and got the final out of the 6th inning for Mitch Keller, who went the first 5 2/3.
Yeah, hold him there. You got 3 innings to just pick up a couple of runs.
Yeah, the Rockies didn't do anything against Skeens last night. And then through the first 4 innings, literally nothing against Keller. No one had even reached base. Sisk getting the chase for the strikeout. Brett Sullivan is coming up. Let's take a look at the Allstate Good Hands replay.
Jared Triola always heads up. Charging hard. How quickly he gets rid of it. Henry Davis maybe got a cleat in that right hand.
Triolo now subbed out for Horowitz. Yeah, that cutting down a run. Davis getting right in there and getting the tag down. Never know when that one run matters. And right now with the Pirates trailing. Tie-breaking home run, Mickey Moniak, a 3-run shot. By putting Sisk in, we saw last night Moniak was subbed out, pinch hit for in the 9th inning when Soto was pitching. Might they get Moniak out of the game if Sisk is pitching? Now maybe that's the dare here from Donnie Kelly.
Well, I think when you're down, you're more likely to go with your best odds. When you're up, maybe you want to keep your best defense in there. I don't know where they are defensively there, but you got Moniak in center field. Unless you have a better option, you're going to keep your better defense out there.
Strike call.
Sullivan, a catcher by trade. And he's right.
2 challenges remaining for Colorado.
Rockies have been right with all their challenges tonight. Late swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Sisk.
You know, Sisk, we saw him last year, saw him in spring training. You know, what I've been seeing from him lately, and here certainly as well, aggressive with that fastball. Being way more aggressive. You know, it's sneaky. It's not going to wow you velocity-wise, but you know, it gets on guys, and then that sets up the good off-speed offerings he has, whether it be the changeup or the big breaking ball.
That strikeout presented by Coppers, protecting what matters, preserving the future. We'll pinch it for Edward Julian here, with Wheelie Castro a switch hitter. And Brandon Beddois would be making his major league debut. The Australian-born right-hander was caught up yesterday.
There's the big sweeping breaking ball. Castro way out in front.
Lau gets the final out. 4 up and 4 down against the reliever Sisk. Still 6-4. Game series against Colorado tomorrow afternoon. Carmen Mlodzinski starts for the Pirates against Chase Dollander for the Rockies, and our coverage begins at 11:30 a.m. right here on Sportsnet Pittsburgh, and always streaming on SNP 360. So Wheelie Castro will stay in the game and play second base after batting for Julian. Davis, Cruz, Griffin. And as you surmised, Rock, Senzatella, definitely a multi-inning reliever. This is his 3rd inning of relief. 9 pitches in each. Well, the last time that Cruz faced Senzatella, what a wallop. Grand slam for Cruz in Colorado. And that was part of that first inning where they knocked him out. Assessed 8 runs on his ledger. Got off to several big leads in that game, and the Rockies came storming back to win. Never fun at course until it's over.
You never know what's going to happen.
Cruz has the power to leave any ballpark, to any field of any ballpark. Pirates got a home run by O'Hearn off Senzatella in the 6th inning. First time anybody had homered off him this year.
He's had plenty of rest. This outing, first one in almost a week. So plenty of bullets. Although I can't imagine him going more than 3.
Oh, still at just 24 pitches. And was a starter pretty much his whole career. A little time as a reliever when he broke into the big leagues a decade ago. Well, we'll see how they play it.
Most he's gone is at least recently is 2.2, but boy, he's feeling it. Looking pretty good.
And now a message from Levin Furniture and Mattress.
Get the guaranteed lowest mattress prices for life at Levin.
Well, now Griffin gets to see him for a second time. When he saw Quintana a second time, he had hustled double. And he's down a bat, and Senzatella with another quick inning, just 8 pitches in that inning. Beddois has been waiting his whole life for this, a chance to pitch in the major leagues, and he'll get to do it right here. Mom Sharon in the foreground, his girlfriend here, family witnessing this, coming in from Australia, the first Aussie-born Pirate.
Don't let those Valvoline numbers fool you. That ERA over 7. This guy has good stuff and had just a historical run last year in AAA Indianapolis. How about that? I wonder if he envisioned that. I'm going to come in, my first pitch is going to be a slider. Will get me over slider. Had Moniak way out in front.
Moniak, who had just homered his last time up, greets him rudely here. And so Moniak a double.
He was selling out on the slider, or on the fastball first pitch, had him way out in front. Now, after he's out in front, now he's not selling out for fastball anymore. He's just seeing it and reacting. Got another slider, pretty similar pitch. It was up middle of the plate, and yeah, he stayed back on that one.
A tough guy to face. First batter in the major leagues. OPS leader in the National League. Freeman. A bunt. And a sacrifice. His 4th. Rockies playing for an insurance run here in the 8th off Beddois from Brisbane, Australia. And that run that you mentioned, Rock, last year, he faced 64 batters in a row and didn't give up a hit.
Incredible.
And a pickoff try, got him. How about a catcher helping out his young pitcher?
Yeah, there's some kind of sign between Henry Davis and Nick Gonzalez saying, hey, let's try it out. And yeah, you see Moniak was a little late getting that foot down, leaning.
This is a crew chief review of the out call at third base.
That would be the first catcher pickoff since Jason DeLay in 2022. And what a better time, a guy making his major league debut.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if that was between Henry Davis or Nick Gonzalez, or maybe that pickoff came from the bench. But yeah, why not? Give it a shot.
And because it's the 8th inning, the Rockies, even though they're out of a challenge, they can ask for a crew chief review, which was granted here.
I haven't seen anything yet that would determine that he beat that tag. You know, nothing clear and convincing.
This would erase that lead runner and drastically reduce the chances of the Rockies adding an insurance run. There's Quinn Wolcott.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is out.
I think that's right.
Yep, nothing clear and convincing.
And that's a huge help to that young pitcher right now. Bedoya, the catcher, picking off runners. It's been 4 years. I mean, that doesn't happen very often.
No. And you talk about when we see these reviews and these replays and how close they are. Happy with that result. When you talk about base running and timing, you know, when we showed the one replay with Moniak taking his lead off, again, that right foot was still in the air when Henry caught it, you know, and so it's going to be a split second longer for you to plant, reverse, and dive back. That split second is the reason he's out. And you want to get that foot down as that ball's hitting through, or that ball's going through the hitting zone. That foot's got to get down, you know, for you to either cross over or go back. And that's at every base. And you talk about paying attention to details, and that's when you're working on base running, that's what you got to work on. Like, look where he's at. His right foot's still in the air. Henry's coming up firing. If that foot's down, he has a better chance of getting back safely. And when you see how close it was, he's safe if that foot's down. Yeah, you see there was a half step towards home plate as Henry caught that ball. That foot's got to be down before he catches that ball.
And so Bedoya a chance to get out of this. Leadoff double, a sacrifice, a catcher pickoff. Trying to get Rumfield, who's 2 out of 3 tonight. High and deep to right, and Rumfield will hit one out of here over the seats. We're in the very back of them, at least, and a long home run. And the Rockies will make it 7-4.
Yeah, no doubt sitting dead red fastball here. Dead red fastball, and he gets a fastball right there. Middle in.
And so the two lefties that the righty faces, double home run. This very left-handed lineup for the Rockies tonight. A tough one for Bedoya to face here in his debut. That ball wedged right back behind the seats there. Still counts the same. An important insurance run for the Rockies. Well, the pickoff still helps there, considering who would have scored ahead of that if all worked out the same. But now back to a 3-run margin here in the 8th for the Rockies. And Bedoya last year, his ERA, he pitched at 4 different levels, was 0.74. Started the year in Bradenton, made it all the way up to Indianapolis by the end of the year. And they'll get the final out. Rockies add on the Rumfield home run, but Bedoya is in the big leagues.
Well, Brandon Bedoya made his major league debut, the first Australian-born player to do so in a Pirates uniform. I'm joined now by his mother, Sharon, and his girlfriend, Morgan. First and foremost, Mom, 24-hour flight to get here and watch that moment. To finally see that happen, what did it mean to you?
Everything. I do it all over again. I'm hurting, I'm hurting hard, but worth it. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
He told me that this moment would just mean everything to him. He wants to inspire young kids in Australia that this is possible. What does it mean to know that he is an inspiration to those young kids back home?
It's very special. A lot of people, baseball is a growing sport in America, and of course when people come over, in Australia I should say, and when people are doing well over here, they use that aspiration to try and build their dreams a little bit bigger.
What has his journey been like to get here then, knowing that it is a growing sport over there and he's showing that it is possible, it just might have a few extra steps along the way?
A few extra steps for sure. Lots of hard work, lots of commitment, and just ready to do anything for whatever it takes. Just never give up.
Last year, he had flown through the Pirates system. For you, did it start to become really real and exciting watching him succeed the way he did?
Yes, but on a little secret family matter, I couldn't watch the games live. I would have to wait until the games were over, and then the jinx would be lifted and I could continue with his achieving of that continuous low ERA. It was just sensational.
Well, what is it like watching it live now then, if you couldn't even watch on TV last year?
It's an out-of-body experience. I think part of me is still at home, in my brain.
Morgan, for you, I know you get to see a little bit more in person, but what did it mean to finally watch him step on that big league mound, knowing everything that's gone into this?
Words can't explain. You know, to see his lifelong dream come true, it's a different story.
Mom, we know you have huge reactions. He said when he called you about the 40-man, you were screaming, you were excited. When he called you about the debut, you woke up the whole house. When you try to put into words what the excitement level is and the deep breath you were finally able to take, what would you want to say to Brandon and just about the emotions right now?
It means everything. He means everything. It's just very, very special.
No matter what happens on that mound from here on out, what do you want your son to know about his mom and what she thinks about little Brandon and how he got here?
Couldn't be any prouder. No matter what happens out there, I could not be any prouder.
Well, I know he is certainly excited to be here. We're excited to have him here. You both should be so proud. We love having Brandon here. We're excited to watch him grow. And thank you for getting here. I know he was so excited, Joe, 24 hours. I mean, that is dedication to get here to PNC Park, and how perfect that it worked out that she got here just in time to see Brandon debut.
Thank goodness. Yeah, he could have gotten in yesterday. He was active, and they wouldn't have made it, but they got to be here tonight, and they got here as soon as they could. And here is the reaction once he's in there, officially a major league player.
I just couldn't imagine flying for 24 hours. My goodness, what a journey.
Well, yeah, I'm sure for Sharon, she would have walked 24 hours to see Brandon get in there. And I know that his siblings would want to be here too. Talia and Bianca, his sisters, and his older brother Nick, who played briefly in the Blue Jays system and got off to a good start and got injured and could not play really again and had to retire young and never really made it close to the big leagues because of that injury. And seeing little brother be able to make it, holding back tears right now. Who can blame him? 24 years old, and became a pitcher because he couldn't hit. You know, as he described it, he played professional baseball in Brisbane as an infielder at 17 years old, and then played internationally as a pitcher per their recommendations with the national team. And now he's a major league pitcher with mom in attendance. What a story. Brandon Beddois of the Pirates in there tonight.
Brandon Beddois can take a deep breath in the dugout after his major league debut, as Justin Lawrence will be next up on the mound for the Bucks, and this is his first time facing his former team in the Rockies. He said it's definitely interesting. He wore that color for so long, so seeing those guys sitting in the bullpen here at PNC Park, where he's sat times before, was different. At the same time, he was looking forward to seeing familiar faces, namely bullpen catcher Kyle Cunningham, and who went to college with him actually, and Victor Vodnik, who was his favorite golf buddy. The two apparently weren't very good at golf, but made their way onto some nice courses in Colorado. Wayner, I know you're going to be really jealous about that, but yes, Justin Lawrence against the Rockies. First time in his pro career facing his former team.
Got to be pretty cool to play nice courses. I know what it's like to not be very good at it.
Do you know what it's like to face your former team when you were with the Marlins? How about?
Yeah, that was pretty neat. You know, yeah, that's obviously a different experience when you're with a team for a while, and then next thing you know, you're competing against them, facing them, and trying to beat them. You know, especially for me growing up here, in Pittsburgh, and wanting to beat the Pirates. I mean, it's probably the only time I've rooted against the Pirates. And having Vince Lachey make fun of me with his organ when I come up to the plate playing Oscar Mayer Wiener as I came to play, so it was definitely a different feel. I think there's always a little awkwardness when you're facing a good friend, somebody you got to know very well and played with and try to win games with. Now all of a sudden you're trying to beat them. Certainly there's some bragging rights there, but free agency, you're kind of always facing guys eventually that you played with. But yeah, I'm sure. I never thought about the bullpen piece, because the bullpens are right next to each other. And so the guys you used to sit with, you're right behind them, and thinking, well, I wonder what they're talking about. We used to talk about this, that, and the other. But
yeah, do you talk to those guys, or what do you do? Base hit for Doyle. Well, let's check in with Hannah.
Joe, I also wanted to note, he said he has nothing bad to say about the Rockies organization at all. No bad blood there whatsoever. But being here now, he said this Pirates organization gave him so much confidence and belief in his stuff. He's still learning how to continue to believe in that, and he wants to keep trusting on that path. But he's made it clear over and over so many times this year how excited he is to be here, be a part of this team, and wanting to rise to the level that he knows he can for the Pirates.
Who claimed him off waivers halfway through spring training last year. So you think about it, in essence, if you get traded away or designated, a team has given up on you, so to speak. So you can maybe create that chip on your shoulder. Perhaps Lawrence can do that. A little different if, like when Bobby Bowe came back or something. They paid him the most money. Okay, see ya. A little different deal. But most guys, they're gone from a team because the team says they don't want you anymore.
Yep.
That's just how the game works. So prove them wrong.
Yeah, it's so weird because, I think about it, for instance, when St. Louis was in town and J.J. Weatherholt, he came down and his whole family they were all Pirate fans, and then a couple weeks ago they had to come here and root against the Pirates
and wear Cardinals gear.
And wear Cardinals gear
of all things.
Obviously with the J Happ, it's the same kind of feel, and
Schaefer, growing up Pirate fan, of course, and still lives in Western PA, so he's here every winter. Much easier when you're the manager or a player on the hometown team.
Mm-hmm.
Those allegiances run deep for Donnie Kelly. Brett Sullivan played for the Pirates at 3 games last year. I don't think he cares who's playing tonight. But Lawrence sure does, and he wants to make sure he can get out of this with a 0. Same thing with Neil, of course. First game back with the Mets. That was a different deal.
Yeah, the hometown guy, Neil Walker, who his hometown team traded him.
Yeah.
You know, and so that would have to be a different feel as well coming back.
Or when we see Bednar again or something, you know, that happens. And, you know, how does that take place?
Yeah, I mean, I know I kind of felt bad for my parents and my family because they had to come and root against the Pirates. At least I think they did.
How'd they look in teal?
I don't know if they bought any teal.
Well, as Hannah said, you know, Lawrence, it was always purple. Drafted by the Rockies 11 years ago. Runners taking huge leads. It just occurred to me too with Sullivan batting. The Rockies have had Corey Sullivan, of course, as a player and now as a broadcaster, and he comes back home to Western PA. And some of these guys, you know, grow up here, don't get to ever play for the Pirates. So you have to learn to root against them when you're playing against them. Pretty easy, I'm sure. Lawrence here after getting the first out. Base hit and a walk.
Yeah, the big thing with Justin Lawrence has been his command. You know, last year, and again, he had battled some injuries, but when he pitched for the Pirates last year, he was just so good. But I think most of that reason was because he can command the ball. Here he's thrown 15 pitches, 9 of those 15 out of the strike zone. He's just hasn't been able to put the ball where he's wanted to, but he's going to get out of it.
Well,
maybe not.
He had a chance to, and instead it's going to be another run.
And again, sometimes these pitchers, they get that comebacker and they want to be quick throwing the ball to second base. They don't get off the mound, they're throwing uphill. You see that plant leg is going up that pitcher's mound. You know, you're used to throwing, you know, to bases on flat ground. If you don't get off that mound, that's, I think, more times than not when we see a wild throw, it's because they're throwing up that hill. You could maybe try to take a quick shuffle, get off that mound, and get off a better throw.
And this is a big run at a critical time. The Rockies have not been able to pin down games with any regularity. You saw Bernardino up, who has 1 major league save and gave up 3 runs and got 1 out in his last outing. And so you think about it, if it's a 3-run game, it's never easy, but I feel like it's gettable, possible. And those hopes dim with a successive run here in the 9th. Still got to get 2 more outs. Had him right in front of him. And Bill Murphy on a 2-0 count. This is his count to come out to the mound. And let's take a look at our North Star Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC star of the game. And Ryan O'Hearn trying to get the Pirates a little closer with a home run later, but he got things started with that extra base hit earlier.
Yeah, he just he's been such a great addition to this lineup. Hitting ability, just not just for average, but power, driving and runs. And now with 27 RBIs.
So the comebacker now needs to come back in this inning and get those final 2 outs. Might have a chance here. Tough to turn it. Too fast on the back end. Willie Castro. They'll get that runner at second. Now I got to face Moniak again, though, coming up.
Do a good job getting that lead runner, but anytime you got decent speed at the plate, especially from the left side, so hard to go with the 3-6-1 or 3-6-3 double play. Castro got a bit of the cleat, the back of the foot of Justin Lawrence.
And Moniak, hard drive, desperate attempt for O'Hearn. Knew the game was in the balance. Had to do anything he could to try to get it. And Moniak with the double off the righty in the 8th and a triple off the righty in the 9th. Single shy of the cycle. Good night for Moniak. 5 RBIs on his birthday.
Center cut fastball.
Yeah, that stage of the game, I'm fine with him going for it. It was desperate times. 10-4 over and out. Rockies, remember, no one reached base against Keller the first 4 innings. They got 5 straight hits to start the 5th. Moniak hit a 3-run home run to break a 3-3 tie. Pirates got a little closer with that O'Hearn homer, made it a 2-run game, but then Benoit with the home run allowed in the 8th, and then 3 more here against Lawrence. And the Rockies lead by a half dozen. Pirates baseball on SNP is presented by McClellan's Contracting and Roofing. If our name goes on it, we stand behind it so you can stand in it. The Rockies piling on late, making the margin all that more difficult to surmount here in the 9th.
Bernardino making his 19th appearance. 3.60 ERA, 2.63 batting average against.
The only base runner against the Rockies bullpen tonight was O'Hearn's home run in the 6th.
And base jogger.
Rockies really have struggled with pitching, but after everybody reached against Quintana, the starter, in 4 innings, the bullpen really rising to the occasion tonight.
You gotta, I think most of these games are scripted out, and they were probably thinking, if we can get 4 or 5 out of Quintana and he comes out with a lead, we're going to their best bullpen arm and letting them out there as long as we can. That's what they did.
As you pointed out, that's a season high in innings for Senzatella, right? 3 innings.
I think he went 3 1/3 like early on, but
yeah, oh, in a long while.
It's been a while. Yeah. In the last month.
See, the pitcher, don't risk a throw if you can beat the runner. 2 quick outs for Bernardino.
Does a good job getting off the mound. Talk about this fairly often. The lefty, they fall off to that third base side. That little dribbler I thought might get past him. With if it gets past him, I think Lau gets an infield hit there.
And the only lefty out of the pen. Saw the spots with Lau and Horwitz in there. And he warmed when it was a 3-run game. So they would have used him for a save opportunity. He does not have a save as a Rocky. Only one last year with the Red Sox. Now Moot Pirates came on as a pinch hitter in the 6th. And this Rockies bullpen really silencing the Bucks bats in the second half of this game. And you look at some of those hitters, they came alive. They did nothing against Skeens last night, but Rumfield with the home run, and Mickey Moniak homer, double, triple tonight, 5 RBIs on his birthday.
Yeah, you know, I thought it was going to be a game much like last night. You know, Mitch Keller was just rolling along, very efficient, very easy time of it through 4 innings, and the Bucks with 3 on the board. You're thinking, well, we're going to just cruise to another victory, but you know, they got some guys that could swing the bats, and you know, well, for whatever reason, they were able to string together those 5 consecutive hits in that 5th against Mitch Keller. And yeah, Mickey Moniak, big difference maker with 5 RBIs.
And so the Rockies even the series with the victory tonight. Pirates will have a chance still to win the series tomorrow afternoon, but we invite you to stay tuned. Pirates extra innings is coming your way. They'll dissect this one. It was the Rockies winning 10-4 at PNC Park tonight.